you ready for Grandma's story time? Do you remember the book that we're reading? It's called The Adventures of the Wishing Chair by Enid Blyton. We finished chapter 4. Put on your glasses, Grandma. Now we're up to chapter 5. It's called Poor Lost Chinky. Once a dreadful thing happened when the children were adventuring on the wishing chair. It had grown its wings most conveniently when all three were in the playroom. So they jumped on and were soon flying high in the air. As they were flying, they heard a loud droning noise. They looked around. "It's an aeroplane!" shouted Peter. "I say, it's very near us," cried Mollie. So it was. It didn't seem to see them at all. It flew straight at them, and the edge of one of the widespread wings just touched their flying chair, giving it a tremendous jerk. Mollie and Peter were sitting tightly in the seat, but Chinky was on the back, and he was jolted right off the chair. Mollie clutched at him as he fell, but she only just touched him. The children watched in dismay as he fell down, down, down. Oh, Peter!" cried Mollie in despair. Poor Chinky. Whatever will happen to him?" The aeroplane flew on steadily, never guessing it had even touched the wishing chair. Peter turned pale, and he looked at Mollie. "Oh, we must make the chair go down and see if Chinky is hurt," he said. "Oh dear, what a dreadful thing to happen. Chair, fly down to earth." The chair flapped its red wings and flew slowly to the ground. It stood there, and the children jumped off. They were in open country with wide fields all around them. There was no sign of Chinky at all. They heard a sound of someone chanting a song and saw coming towards them a round little fat man carrying a bundle on his head. "Hi!" called Peter. "Have you seen a little pixie falling out of the sky?" "Is that a riddle?" "Is that a riddle?" said the little man, grinning stupidly. "I can ask you one too. Have you seen a horse that quacks like a duck?" "Don't be silly," said Mollie. "This is serious. Our friend has fallen out of the sky." "Well, tell him not to do it again," said the little round man. "And all that fell out of the sky today was a large snowflake. Good morning." He went on his way, with his bundle bobbing on his head. The children were very angry. "Making a joke about a serious thing, like Chinky falling out of the sky," said Mollie, with tears in her eyes. "What a horrid man!" "Here's someone else," said Peter. "Hi! Stop a minute." There was someone, another round, fat person, also carrying a bundle on her head and singing a little song. She stopped when she saw the children. "Have you seen a pixie falling out of the sky?" asked Peter. "No. Have you?" asked the woman, grinning. "Of course," said Mollie impatiently. "Fibber," said the round woman. "A big snowflake fell out of the sky, but nothing else." "They've got snowflakes on the brain," said Peter, as the woman went on her way singing. "Come on, Mollie, we'd better go and look for Chinky ourselves. We know that it might have been somewhere near here that he fell. We'll carry the chair between us so we may have it safely. I don't trust these stupid people." They carried the chair along and came to a marketplace. It was full of the same fat round people, all humming and singing. A town crier was going round the market, ringing a bell and crying, Oh yay! Oh yay! Dame Apple Pie has lost her spectacles! Oh yay! Oh yay! And then Peter had a splendid idea. I say, Molly, let's tell the town crier to shout out about Chinky. We'll offer a reward to anyone that can tell us about him. Someone must have seen him fall. So, before very long, the town crier was ringing his bell and crying out loudly, "Oh yay! Oh yay! A reward is offered to anyone having news of a pixie who fell from the sky! Oh yay! Oh yay!" Molly and Peter stood on a platform so that the people might know where to go if they had any news. To their delight, there came quite a crowd of people to them. "We've news! We've news!" they cried, struggling to get to Peter first. "Well, where did that pixie fall?" asked Peter to the first little man. "Sir, I saw a big snowflake fall in the buttercup field," he said. "Don't be foolish," said Peter. "I said a pixie, not a snowflake. Don't you know the difference between pixies and snowflakes? We all know that snowflakes fall from the sky. That is not news. Next, please." But the next person said the same thing, and the next, and the next. It was most annoying and very disappointing. "We want our reward!" Suddenly someone shouted. "We've given you the news, but you have given us no reward." "You haven't given us the right news," said Peter angrily. "That doesn't matter," shouted the little folk, looking angry. They looked rather funny too, because for some reason or another all their bundles and baskets balanced on their heads. "Give us our reward!" They swarmed towards the platform on which the two children were standing, and Molly and Peter suddenly felt very frightened. "I don't like this, Molly," said Peter. "Let's go. These stupid creatures think that pixies and snowflakes are exactly the same, and we certainly can't give them all a reward. Climb into the chair." Molly jumped into the chair, which was just near them on the platform. Peter sat on the chair and cried out loudly, "Home, chair, home!" The chair flapped its wings and rose up, but it didn't rise very far, only just above the heads of the angry people. Its legs began to jerk in and out, and to Peter's enormous astonishment, the chair kicked off the bundles, pots and baskets from the heads of the furious marketers. Peter began to laugh, for really, it was most comical to see the chair playing such a trick. But Molly was in tears. "What's the matter?" asked Peter, drying her tears with his handkerchief. "It's Chinky," sobbed Millie. "I did love him so. Now I feel we'll never see him again." Peter's eyes filled with tears too. "He was such a good friend," he said. "Oh, Molly, it would be so dreadful if we never saw him again." They flew home in silence. The chair flew in the playroom door, and the children jumped off. "It will never be so nice going on adventures again," said Molly. "Why ever not?" said a merry little voice. And the children turned around in joy, for there was Chinky, Pixie, sitting on the floor reading a book. "Chinky, we thought you were lost forever when you fell out of the chair," cried Molly, hugging him so hard. "Oh, don't break me in half," said Chinky. "I wasn't hurt at all. I just changed myself into a big snowflake and fell into the buttercup field. And then I caught the next bus back to the bottom of the garden. And here I am. I've been waiting simply ages for you. A snowflake? Cried Peter. So that's why everyone talked about snowflakes. Now I understand. They did see a snowflake, but it was Chinky turned into a snowflake. He told Chinky all about their adventures and how the pixie laughed when he heard about the chair kicking the bundles off the heads of those angry people. I wish I'd been there, he said. Come on. Now what about a game of Ludo? That's the end of chapter 5. Have you played Ludo? I used to play that when I was a child. It was a fun adventure, wasn't it? Fancy being able to fall down and turn into a snowflake. Oh, they have fun adventures. Come back and we'll have our next chapter. Bye-bye.